Christmas friends. I am so happy you're here and you take a little moment of your day to see what I am up to. For everyone who is new here, my name is Yanni and I'm doing this Christmas channel all year round. If you like this content, I hope of course you will consider subscribing to my channel. And like I say, for today, I'm going to try to make two Christmas signs, but I'm going to make them from free wood from Ikea. So I hope you enjoy this content and you like the inspiration. Let's jump into this DIY. For this DIY, we need a couple of tumbling tower blocks, of course, over here. And we are going to need some wooden letters. But of course, you can use any letters you like. If you have different letters, it's also fine. And I'm going to use a wooden panel. This is a panel you can get for free with IKEA. Because in the Netherlands, some IKEAs have a big trunk standing where you find old pieces of wood. And you see already, this one is, I think, from an old dresser, or I think maybe for something they had in their shops, or maybe something people bought back and wasn't okay. So, but I'm going to try to make some Christmas signs out of both of them. So we will see how this will turn out. I already have one of my free wood on my table, but I'm going to lay it aside for a little moment. So I'm doing this way. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make a kind of a Christmas tree, but it is a little bit different, like always with me, so bear with me. I'm going to make first on the side, because this tree is going to be flat, and we are going to glue it later on top of our wooden board. So I'm going to make the stand. I'm going to do a little bit of glue on top of here and place this one exactly in the middle, and remove your glue immediately, because later on you have a lot of work to get it away. We are going to make two stands, so I'm going to make another one for the second Christmas tree, because we are going to place two of them on our free board. Again, squeeze it, remove the glue, and now we already have two of our stands already for our tree. We are going to lay them also over here. What I'm going to do, because I want to have little squares in between my Christmas trees. So what I'm going to do, I use one block for a measurement, and in the other block we will glue this against each other. So I measure out this way. So I want to leave open this side. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue over here and just place it against each other this way, but be sure that you keep your measurement, and of course this way, keep it in place. And now you have this, what I mean, and it is exactly, if you see it this way, the same measurement. He still fits in here. I'm going to do the second one again, lay this aside, and again glue this a little piece over here, and again lay it against each other, squeeze it, and wait until it is dried up. And again, you only use it as a measurement. We are going to do the next one. Again, lay it on top of here, do a little bit of glue on the underside of your block. Again, place it in between and just squeeze it. And again, now you have already 4 pieces stuck to each other. Now we're going to do another series, but of course we are going to do again this way, and we are going to glue this one beside it. Again, keep it in place and squeeze it again. Now we're going to do the next one. Do a little bit of glue on the underside, place it over here, squeeze it against each other, wait a second until it is dried up, and now we're going to do the last one. Measure out again, a little bit of glue on the underside of your block, lay it down next to each other, and again squeeze it together. Keep away your block, and you already have now 2 of this kind of. And of course, if we turn this one around, I hope at least when I place it together, I have my top of my Christmas tree. And of course, now he's not stuck to each other because I don't have an underground. But I will glue this with my stand in between. I can glue it on top of my wooden board, but of course if you like to get it a little bit high, just do one block again, place until next to each other, then you can make it even higher than you want. You see, I did everything for 2 trees, 2 stands, 4 of those blocks we just measured out, and we can later on glue them together. This one also. And we need 2 of the little blocks. That means just a half of one tumbling tower block. And we are going to place them later on top of here. But first thing, what we're going to do, I have of course my white free piece of wood. But I think it's a little bit much too wide for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to print out a print which is a little bit Christmassy. So I going to Mod Podge a print on top of here, and then we are going to glue our Christmas trees on top of here. I just printed out 2 wooden prints because I think wood is always for me a little bit rustic, warm, cozy. So this is what I'm going to use. But of course I was also looking at the real Christmas background, but that was too busy because I want to do later also on top some lettering. So I chose for the wood print. So what I'm going to, because I have 2 wooden free panels, I'm going to make 2 signs of Christmas signs. So I'm going to do one in the darker brown piece of wood, and I'm going to do a little bit of the distressed looking wood. So I'm going to Mod Podge the print on top of our free wood. I just take my Mod Podge and I always use this one, but like I said, in every DIY you can use also school glue or something else. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a lot of my Mod Podge on top of here. Of course there are so many ways you can Mod Podge, but I'm going to do it just my way, and I'm going to do the whole piece with Mod Podge. So this will be one big mess. But don't mind me, just do whatever you think is right. I'm just going to Mod Podge this totally, and then I'm going to place my 2 pieces on top of here, and later on I will distress it because 2 of those prints are bigger than my wood is, and I'm going to give it later on a distressed look, but I show you that later because in English saying exactly what I mean, that's not always the greatest thing for me to do because not everyone is understanding me, and I even hope that everyone can hear me because I would hate it if you don't hear me. But maybe some people think I wish I couldn't hear it that bad. So I'm going to lay this on top of here and just try to get it in the middle and squeeze a little bit until you have it on the right way. And again, make the lines and look if he's straight. Then you're going to do the next one, and you just measure out and filling up the pieces and get it even so that everything is looking great on top of each other, so we almost can't see the line. But of course it is wood, you probably can see the line, but we will make sure that we work that away. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to do the other panel also, so everything can dry at the same time. The Mod Podge is dried up almost, at least not totally, but almost dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my sanding tool, and of course this is a very cheap one and an easy one, and of course you can also use some sanding paper. I did it in more DIYs. It's very easy, just go down to the sides of your print, so just as long as it breaks open. I hope to show it you in a little moment. You see, this is what I mean. Now he's going, and you get a nice distressed line on your piece. So I will go totally around and then I show you the result. of the panels are finished. I show you already this one. You saw me make the distressing sides on it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my two little trees, and what I'm going to do, I want to give them the top and the sides a little bit of the white distressed look. So I'm going to take some chalk paint and just dab it off the most of the paint. And what I'm going to, before I'm going to glue it on top of our print, I'm going to give it a nice, a little distressing, not a lot, but just a little bit. And the sides, of course, the tops, before we're going to glue it. You see, it is very easy. And if you like it better, just totally in the white color or green color, do whatever you think is right for your decor. I'm just going to give it a nice white distressing. The trees are already dried up, and you see I love the white distressed color. Maybe I can show it to you a little bit better how distressed. I hope my camera picks it up right. So I'm really loving the color. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place this white one on top of the brown sign or background, just how you call it. And I'm going to, but before I'm going to glue my trees on top of here, I'm going to work a little bit with my board to give it a little bit more of a Christmas feeling. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make from pieces of my greenery. I have here some Christmas greenery. I tore it apart, so just rip it off and just use the little ones, the bigger ones, the smaller ones, it doesn't matter. Just now, at least if you will work with me, and this one and this one. And now we're going to make from this kind of pieces, we are going to make a frame around our wood, so that it gives a little bit more of a Christmas feeling, I always say. I hope everything will work okay. What I'm going to do, because you see already this on the ends are plastic, and I really don't like the ends of it. So I always cut off the ends of my little branches. So again, cut everything off, so we have a nice piece to work with. So I will cut this all out, and then we're going to make the frame. Making the frame is very easy. You just take a piece of branch, you just do some glue on the back side, in the middle of the back side of your piece, and just lay it down at the end and just hold it in place for a little moment. Then you can work away your, and again another one. You can do the whole piece, you can do a little piece, and again I always squeeze it under, so just place it over here, keep it in place again. That's why I don't do the tips on the back side, because I want to pull it up and do the other one under it. So, but if you have another idea, it's also fine, because everyone can do it their own way. Again, take it back and keep it in place. And you see already with 3 pieces I already on the end of this one. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to place it under it, and I'm going to glue this also. So we get a nice, again, pull it up, place it under and lay it down. And so I'm going to work my way totally around. My frame is finished, and if you have a better idea to make the frame with some Christmas branches, just let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what your ideas are on making a frame around it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my trees and I'm going to lay them down to see if everything is fitting right. Of course, I probably have to do, this one is better, or else we get a strange tree. I probably need to get it very there low, because or else I get my ladders not on top, because I want to have here some laddering. So I think I need to pull it down this way, and then I'm going to glue it, this one, on top. And I think he looks already very nice. So I will glue this together. I'm having my trees on top of here. It was a little bit of a task to get them straight on this panel, but I did it. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get out my lettering and I'm going to measure out where I want to have my word. This is a little bit how I wanted to have. I want to write the word Christmas tree, and I think I have it almost at the place I want to have it. I know you see it backwards, because don't worry, that's not at your side. This is just my telephone. And later on you will see it in the right way, but it is saying Christmas trees. So don't worry, I will glue this together and then we are going to do the next step. I have the lettering glued on top of here, and this is how he's looking right now. Of course, I think he looks a little bit more too plain or white, or just how you call it. So I'm going to give it a little bit of distressing with my black schoolboard paint, and also the letters I'm going to distress a little bit with black, but you don't have to do it. This is just something I like, and I'm going to try to get one arrow over here. So we will see if I succeed, because the board is always a little bit smaller than I think, so I always work a little bit bigger. So I'm going to try to get an arrow over here. I have here my black schoolboard paint, very simple paint, and I'm going to take a piece of kitchen towel. I'm going to dab in a little bit of the schoolboard paint and then just dab it off as much as I can, because we don't want to have big black pieces on top of here. Just very simple little dots. So just go around the corners of your tree and also this way, and be careful, don't mess on your board, of course. And I think it gives a little bit more that everything is coming a little bit more to life. But of course, I know a tree is green, so if you like the green color better, that is also fine too. I am just giving an inspiration how you should can do it, and but you are totally free to do it any way you like. So I'm going to finish this off and then we're going to do the next step. You see, I made my little arrow and I just made it from 2 letters, because I thought, how can I make an arrow but which is looking the same like my letters is. I just used a W, I think you call it a W, and the letter F. I don't know if you call it also in English an F. At least you know what letter this is. So I did cut off the little tops. So I cut off this one and I cut off this one. So I have nice one. Of course, you can also use the letter E. Then you have the same. And what I did with the W, I just did 2 pieces, one on this side and one on this side. And I did it sideways. I did cut it off. And I can show it you maybe this way a little bit better. So I just cut it and sideways, just not straight, not this way, but this way. And on this side, the same one. So you have the same length on both sides on here. And then you have your own little arrow. And I'm going to give it also a little bit of the black distressing, like I did also my lettering. So now he's looking totally the same like my other letters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place a couple of berries, I think maybe inside of here. I will look if how I like that, and or else he is almost finished. I chose for to do the berries. Of course, I have very simple branches, and I have some berries also with a little top on here. You see already, I don't know how you call this, at least a little top on the berry. And this one I chose and not the plain berries. And I'm just going to glue them inside, and I think it gives just a little more Christmassy touch inside. So just place it, and this one also a little glue on the bottom, and just squeeze it in until he's in place. And I'm going to do the rest, and then this one is already finished, and you see the end reveal at the end, because we are still going to make a second one. But before we're going to do that, I have to tell you something first. And before we go further to our next sign, I have to tell you that this video is also part of a challenge which is called What Would You Make? This challenge is hosted by the two beautiful ladies, Zana from OK at Home DIY and Connie from Connie Creative Creations. For this month's host, they ask Theresa from Theresa B DIY. Of course, I will place a link down below for all the three ladies, so go check it out, you won't be sorry. And of course, I will place a link down below with the playlist with tons of beautiful inspiration for you to find what can you make from wood. So go ahead, check it out. Like I said, we are going further to our next sign. For the second sign, we are going to use this one, the lighter one, of course. You saw it already earlier when we did the print on top of it. Again, I'm going to do on this side a greenery frame. Again, just pull your greenery out, and just what you use, you can use any greenery you like. I'm going to make the frame the same way like I did the other one. Just do on the back side a little piece with your glue, place it under it, and just as low as you want to have it, and try to keep the top open like we did earlier, so we can also get a nice one under it, and so we can build it up and we get a nice frame. And again, and so we are going to work this around again. Have my frame around my panel. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to lay this aside, and I'm going to get my tumbling tile blocks, and we are going to try to make I think you call it in English a stable. In the Netherlands we call it a stal. Of course, we are going to try to make the stable where the little baby Jesus is lay into. So it is just a try. I never made one, so we will see how this will turn out. I have my blocks already on my table. I'm just going to start to build how I think he is in my head. So we will see how this will turn out. Of course, like I said, I never made such a kind of stable. So what I'm going to try to do is just build up two pieces. So I'm going to do some glue. And of course, I should have waited until and we are going to glue this one together. And I know I should have waited until my glue gun was green. So, but I was impatient, sorry. So I'm going to do again a second one, again on top of each other, and squeeze it and get them even. You see, now we just have two on top of each other, and we are going to glue both of them together and squeeze them real hard and lay them aside, so you get a nice straight line. What we're going to do, we are going to do again two on top of each other, another one, and this one, just place it inside, and we are going to glue this one on the side of this one. So we're going to do this way, just a little bit of glue, and just squeeze it together, and we are going to make another side again, one block on top of the other. And I always lay it on the sideways because I can squeeze it then a little bit better. Remove the glue, and we are going to do also this one on the side, and again squeeze it and remove your glue. Now you have a little stand. You see, this is what I mean. This is just a couple of blocks together. Now we are going to do one block. On the top we are going to do some glue, and we are going to place it, I will turn it around, on top of here, just on the underside. I show it to you in a moment. So this is what I mean. Now one is glued over there. Now we are going to glue the other one over here. Again, some glue on the top and squeeze it real hard. So it is one straight line. And now we have already a little underside of our stable. The rest I will build on top of my frame. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get away my glue. I will get my frame, of course, and I'm going to place it over here. And now I'm going to look to placing my stable on here. And I'm going to glue this together. So you see already now we have a nice way to put out Joseph and Maria, and of course the little baby Jesus over here. So I hope it will turn out okay the way I have it in my head. So we will see. So I will glue this on top of here. Already you see my first mistake. I already glued my underside of my stable on top of here. Of course a great idea, but not if you want to give it some furniture wax on top of here. So don't make the same mistake I do. But do some furniture wax or some staining already, or some painting on top of it before you glue it. So I have to get my furniture wax and I have to do it very carefully. So I'm going to go and dab it off a little bit so I don't get too much of the staining on my board, because you don't want that. So this will take a little moment because I have to work very neat. So if it's done, I show you the next step. I'm going to distress it with my simple chalk paint, of at least school board paints, chalk paint, at least what you use. I use my school board paint and I just give it some little touches of the black. It doesn't have to be a lot, just simple pieces with some black, so you still can see through a little bit of the wood color, but I like it that way. My roof is already on top of here. What we're going to do, I'm going to make from those little wooden pops. I think you call it pops also. I am going to make some eyes and a nose on top of here. And of course, we are going to use them inside of our stable as Maria, Joseph, and of course, the little baby Jesus. But I don't know how it will turn out. So this is the first time, like I said, what I'm doing. I always buy my wooden things on AliExpress. So if you want to have this kind of little pops also, go ahead, go check out AliExpress. You will find there lots of wooden things to use for in your DIYs. So I will make the eyes and the nose. So I did my best with my eyes and my nose. I am not the greatest person who can make a little faces. So don't bear with me. I'm going to place them inside of our stable. And of course, I'm going to do first the bigger one. And then of course the smaller one. And baby G's, we are going to glue a little bit sideways this way. So then I'm going to cover this up with some greenery. So I'm going to do just only some glue on the back side. I'm sorry. And a little bit of glue over here and on his head. A little drop. Now we're going to place it in the side And of course, try to get it as even as you can. Now I'm going to do this side, a little drop on the head and some on the back. Again, turn it around and place it again on here. And now we are going to do the little one and some on the back. But we are going to do this one a little bit sideways. And you see, I showed you a little bit closer. So if you want to make it, you also can make this one your own. But of course, if you are better in making little faces, I am so happy for you. I wish I could, but this is the best I can do. So I am going to cover it up with some greenery because I am using the smaller pieces of the greenery, and I will cut off the same way, of course, the plastics, and I'm going to cut off. And now I'm going to lay some greenery. If it was hay, I'm going to work this away so it looks like everything is covered up. I will make it very easy. I'm just going to do one piece in the middle of this one, so just glue it together. We are going to do the other one the opposite direction, and again lay it down this way. What we're going to do the second one. We also do some glue on the back side, but only the tips, of course. I also did the tips only with this one. Now I'm going to lay it a little bit under it, but sideways from this one, and keep it in place for a little moment. Now we're going to do the other one the same. And again, just do one sideways and keep it in place again. I show it to you in a moment a little bit closer. Now I'm going to do one in the middle here and next to this one, and keep it in place. And we're going to do this one. And again, keep it in place for a little moment. And I'm going to glue this together with the one above, because or else you wouldn't see the little baby. So I have to glue it. And again, keep it in place for a little moment. And now we are going to give the tops a little bit more shorter. So we used already size 6 pieces, one here, one sideways, and one above here. And now we're going to place the last one exactly in the middle. So you just do some glue on the tips. And we are going to squeeze it under here and just keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up. And really, I know it takes a lot of your patience right now, but I show it to you in a moment. I hope he sticks this way. And of course, it's a little bit different than the normal little baby Jesus, but I am always a little bit different. So difficult maybe also, but at least that's another discussion. So I think he looks very nice. What we're going to do right now, I'm going to make some words over here. I chose for the words Jesus is born, and of course, like I said in the other with my other sign, you see it backwards right now, but you will see it in the right way later. But this is just my telephone. So I'm going to glue the words on top of here, and then I'm going to give it, of course, the star on top of here. You see already I have a star, and this is a star you buy with 7 a piece, because you get a little piece of twine with it to make a banner out of it. But I only use the star. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my cutting tool and I'm going to try to give it also a nice little shape. Of course, first I'm going to get off my top of my wood, and now I'm going to rebuild it, and I hope I'm going to get a nice point on top of here. So we will see if this will work or not. We hope so. And now we are going to make this one in a point. But of course, not always does it work the way I want it to. So we will see how this will turn out. Now else I get a little piece of my sanding tool and I'm going to sand off the rest of the shape. So maybe this is already how he's turned out, and of course he is a little bit shorter, so I will get my sanding tool and I'm going to sand it a little bit with it. So I shape my little star a little bit, but he's not totally perfect, but at least it was a banner. I take one with a piece of kitchen towel. I take a little bit of my furniture wax and I give it a little layer with my wax so it looks a little bit more rustic. So, and then we're going to glue it on top of our little display. And you see he already changed it by the minute. And I will do the rest of what I don't need. And you see, now we're going to glue it on top of here. The star is on the top also. The only thing I need a little bit of color. So maybe I will do a couple of little berries, red berries over here. So it gives a little bit more of a more Christmassy feeling. So I place 3 little berries, of course, in the middle, in a group of 3. Just place this one. And we're going to take the other one. But this is just my privilege. If you don't like this, it's also fine too. Maybe you like other colors of berries or maybe without it. So this is just what I like. And I do the last one. And then he is totally finished. And of course I don't want to glue myself. So it gives just a little bit more color to my sign. So this is how he's looking like right now. In a moment you see both of the signs, you see the end reveal. And here you see finally the end reveal of our 2 signs, and I'm so happy how the Christmas signs turned out, especially if you are imagining you made it from 2 pieces of wood I got for free from Ikea. And I am really happy with some tumbling tile blocks, some greenery, some letters and some wax and paint, and you already have a nice easy sign for the Christmas season. Of course, in a moment I show it to you a little bit closer, but for now, thank you so much for being here and spending a little moment of your day together with me. I am so thankful for that and so thankful for all your friendships. So, enough talking. Do you want to see more Christmas DIYs? Come on over to my description box. There you find all the links for this channel and of course our main channel Deco Easy. And of course, I must not forget, I have also an Etsy shop. So all the links you find in our description box. Enough talking. I wish you all a beautiful day. Stay safe. See you next time. Bye.